name is Kelly Kent. Um, I am the camp director for Camp Opamikon, which is the Ontario camp of this camp exchange. Kay, did you want to introduce yourself?
And hi everyone, I'm Kay Simon. I'm the camp manager for Camp Wannock and Camp Bing.
Awesome. All right, so we'll just get started. This is kind of just a little presentation just to hopefully answer some questions, and then there's time at the end. You guys are more than welcome to answer questions. If you want to, you can always type in the chat and Kay can kind of answer the question as we go, or she can stop me and we can talk about it too. All right. So Camp Exchange 2026. This program is a new program. It's 2 weeks and it's between two different scout camps in very different parts of the country, which is really cool. We are looking for 10 campers from each camp. So 10 campers from Bing or the Vancouver area and 10 campers from Opamikon or the Ottawa area. The age of the program is 14 to 15, but the way that our system works is that if you are 13 and have a late birthday, so your birthday's in December, November, and you're 13, so you will turn 14 by the end of the year, then you are able to apply to the program. That's what the system will allow into the system, into the registration. The whole point is to meet other youths from different backgrounds and experience other provinces, see other ways of doing things, and have a really awesome 2 weeks. So these are the two camps that we're going to, and this is kind of what the travel looks like. Opamikon campers meet at Opamikon, and then they fly to Vancouver. They'll take a bus to Horseshoe Bay and then get onto the ferry, go over to Lansdale Key, and then take a bus to Camp Bing in Roberts Creek on the Sunshine Coast, which is absolutely gorgeous, right on the ocean. And then after their time in Bing, we'll fly back to Ottawa. We get onto a bus, and it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours on the bus over to Camp Opamikon, which is in Maberly, Ontario, just depending on traffic. So this is kind of what the schedule looks like for what this program is. The Opamikon campers get to camp on Saturday at Opamikon for their normal first day. They get settled in. They can leave some of their stuff at the cabin if they want, but most of it will be going with them. The next day on Sunday, all the Opamikon campers with their staff get on a plane and fly to Vancouver, get all the way to Bing. Then on Monday, the Bing campers arrive, which is when their normal program starts. So Opamikon will have a little bit of chance to rest because it is quite a long travel day. And then Bing campers will join them Monday morning. Then they spend the week at Bing. And then on Friday, both groups of campers will all travel to Ontario together, all to Ottawa. They'll have a bit of a rest day the rest of the Friday, and depending on how the campers are feeling, Saturday as well. And then the rest of the second week they spend at Opamikon. On Friday of the second Friday, Bing campers will travel home to Vancouver and get picked up at the airport. And Opamikon campers will stay that one extra night and then go home with the rest of Opamikon's regular camp on Saturday morning. So that's kind of what our schedule looks like. Are we good? Any questions?
Kelly, we have a question.
Yeah.
Someone asked, how was the age range chosen? Just curious, as it's spanning the Scout/Venturer age range.
Yeah, so this is actually more based on how our camps work rather than scouting. Our 14, 15-year-olds are old enough that we felt like they could travel without their parents, because that's definitely a big change for a lot of our youth. And then 15 is as kind of our age cap as staff or as our campers start to transition into CITs and then staff the next year. So that's kind of how that age range was picked, was that 14 to 15 is our ideal youth age. 13-year-olds as they like enter into being 14. And yeah, that's kind of how it was picked. Thanks for your question. All right, these are our two camps. These are just some of the highlights that we have at both camps. So I'll start with Bing. Over here, you can see a picture of the ferry. I love to travel, and honestly, being on these ferries is so, so amazing. You're traveling um, through the strait in between Horseshoe Bay and Lansdale, Langdale, oh my gosh, Langdale, where there's mountains and little islands around, and other boats are all over the place. Such a beautiful ferry ride, which campers get to go up on the deck and like look around, and such a nice part of the trip as well. Camping is really right on the ocean, and has this absolutely beautiful coastal beach, which you can kind of see in these two pictures. We do try to get campers in the water, depending on weather and water conditions. Sometimes it's not able, but even just the beach itself is it's so much fun to explore with driftwood and the rocks there. Just such a cool place to go to. Camping also has like an absolutely awesome crafts and art time that they have in their art hut. And then they've also got archery, which Okemekong also has archery, but they're a little bit different. So it's really cool to see how the two camps are a little bit different. Coming from Ontario, when I went to visit Bing, one thing that stood out to me so much was how huge the trees are. Beautiful old growth forest that the camp is like right smack in the middle of. Just so cool. Different vegetation. Lots of really cool like little day hikes and places to build little shelters and forts and things like that. There's also, if you see down at the bottom, there's also low ropes obstacle courses, which are really fun, and they have different obstacles than Okemekong, as they also have a low ropes course. So it's cool to see the differences between the two. The program will be staying in the Cub Halls, which kind of look like this last little picture here, which are just little bunkhouses with five or six little beds in them. Both camps have vinyl mattress, like camp mattresses that they'll be sleeping on. So no need to worry about bringing a mattress. Sleeping bag is something that you'll want to bring. And then travel pillow is kind of up to you what that looks like, as long as it fits in your suitcase. This is Okemekong. Here's some highlights for us. We are located on Christie Lake, which is a pretty big lake. It's very, very much classic Ontario. That we have a big beach is actually the picture behind me is our camp beach. And then, so we do lots of canoeing, lots of rowboats, lots of paddle boats. We also have a rock wall that campers can go climbing on. So we do have high ropes and rock climbing. As long as weather permits, we shouldn't have a problem getting you guys on there if it's something that campers want to do. We very much believe in challenge by choice at Okemekong, so we will support you. If you want to get up there, we'll try our hardest to get you up there. And if it's something that you don't feel comfortable with, then we won't make you. We are going to be doing a one-night overnight trip, camping trip at Okemekong during their time, either on Tuesday or Wednesday night. It'll be just a quick one, but we have all the equipment for that. So all of the tents, all the stoves. If we need a sleeping bag, then we can supply sleeping bags as well. All that stuff Okemekong has, so we can have that at camp. We really you just need to show up. And we'll go on a camping trip with everybody. It'll be on a site that's close to camp that camp's own. So you'll just be hiking or paddling to that site. Again, kind of depending on weather and the other groups that are using it. We have a high ropes course. One thing that I noticed while I was at Bing is that there's a flying V low ropes course, and this picture here is a flying V high ropes course. So we thought that was really cool that we could do something in Bing and then at Opie do like an even harder part of it, which we thought was really cool. On Sunday, we have a big camp-wide campfire where we sing all of our songs and we get to participate, and it's a lot of fun. Luckily, in the last 2 years, knock on wood, we haven't had any fire bans, which is so exciting. I know that as someone who's lived in BC, that's usually something that we contend with, which is really exciting that we actually get to have like a campfire. If we do have a fire ban because it's getting dry, we'll use a propane fire instead. We do lots of swimming at Opie as well. Lots of shelter building. On Monday night, we'll do a carnival night, which is really fun. You can bring a costume or you can just go and play carnival games. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Anybody have a question? No? Okay. And then we also do like, we have a little sandy beach that we get to do lots of sandcastles and stuff like that as well. All right. Communication with campers. So our staff will be posting a daily blog about everything that is happening every day. Take lots of pictures, and with the help of the campers, explain what we're doing and what happened and what we saw. Both camps will receive both camps can receive mail. So if you wanted to write some snail mail, absolutely you can send it. Maybe send a little bit before just to make sure that it gets there on time. Or you can pre-write letters and kind of like predate them and give them to the counselors when you sign in, and then the counselors can hand out as they go. We encourage campers to bring a journal and like a disposable camera to record their own memories. Campers are not allowed cell phones at camp at all. We don't want them to get lost or broken or being used inappropriately. We also want campers to like be in the moment and like enjoy what's going on around them instead of being sucked into technology. So for the most part, we're pretty technology free. If there is an emergency, both camps do have phones that we can use. So if an emergency happens with a camper, we'll be contacting parents right away. If there's an emergency at home that the camper needs to know about, if you register, then you'll get all that information of how to contact the camp. All right, how to apply. So this is a little bit different, and I just wanted to make sure that it was a little clear because it's not like our normal registration for camp. We're not signing up for this program, you're applying to this program. So because we have limited space, campers apply to the exchange camp, camp exchange through the same system as summer camp. So it still uses Camp Brain, it's still our registration portal. But it won't be a registration, it'll be an application. Application opens on the 12th, which, oh my gosh, February is going so quickly. That's on Thursday, and then it'll be open for 2 weeks, and it'll be open until midnight. And then March 1st, by the latest, between the two camps, our little committee for Camp Exchange will get together, read through all of our applications, and pick 10 campers that we believe are best fitted for the program. And then by March 1st at the latest, the committee will contact the campers, whether you get in or not, and say if you've been selected or not. Okay, so the registration is just a little bit different than normal, so I want just to walk it through really quick. It all is through our Camp Opemikon portal, even though the Bing camp is having campers come too. So you'll sign up on our website. If you do have if you've registered for camp before, through Scouts Canada. It should be here. You should be able to just sign in. If not, it's a new user. This is just my like pretend account, we'll say. uh, and it's gonna take a second. So it'll bring you to this landing page. Every page does have a little blurb about the instructions. Sometimes they're a little unclear. So just take a read through. If you ever need to, send us an email and we'll get back to you or help you through the registration process. I'll click next. All right, so this page, you're just picking which camper you want to register for. This is my Baker camp is my pretend child that's going to this program. So you just click him, click continue. And then this is the part that I think will catch people up, will be you making sure that you are clicking the right one if you're a BC participant or if you're an Open Mekong Ontario participant. So you're clicking whichever one. And then once you click it, you're registering for the waitlist. So there's waitlist available. That does not mean all 10 spots have been filled. It means that everybody is going on a waitlist to apply, and then we're sorting through afterwards. From our waitlist, you can click BC participant, add to cart, and then continue on. This is the kind of our next page for some of the forms that we start to fill out. Household forms are usually your emergency contacts, things like that. Medical form is really just for the system to have the right information to give to the campers. We don't look at medical information to decide who is coming on this trip. It's not part of the application process in that regard. Waivers is your hold harmless and a little bit of your cancellation fees, things like that. Camper exchange information form. This is swimming, if you're a Scouts member, your membership number, your t-shirt size, things like that. And then this is the part that's really different from your standard registration from camp, is your letter to Camp Exchange Committee. So we're asking that each camper that's applying writes a small half page to a page letter explaining why you would be a good candidate for this camp exchange program. You can tell the committee why you're a good fit, including some of your interests, your ability to adapt. You can give an example of teamwork or leadership skills that you have, or your past experience that may lead you to do well on this program. Things like how you've traveled or where you've gone, or even just like overnight camping trips, things like that you've done before. After you complete all of these, you can click review. It'll just make sure that the right kid is getting registered, you're in the right province that you're getting registered, and that everything is checked off. So that's kind of our application form. I'm going to pop back over here to our presentation. I'll put these, both Kay and I will make sure that these slides are available to look back on, which is just what we just kind of talked about. As part of the camp registration, we are going through a company called Experience Canada, which helps us get grant money from the Canadian government to do these exchange programs. And that grant money is really for all the travel. So our 2-week fee for the actual program is really just to cover your camp part of the camping, the camp fees. So like the staffing, the food, the accommodations, things like that. Because we're going through a grant, they have their own requirements for this program. One of them is that you must be a Canadian citizen. That's who the grant applies to. The other one is that you can't have done an exchange program using this grant money before. So Experiences Canada is one of them. If you're unsure, if you're like, I've been on an exchange, but I don't know if I use the grant, send us an email and we can help you figure out if you still qualify. This grant says that every youth can only do this experience once. So if you're unclear, if you're like, maybe I've used this grant money before, let us know, and then we can help you figure it out. The other things that we're considering is a returning camper. Members of Scouts Canada, these are not requirements. They're just things that we take into consideration. That age group are 14 to 15-year-olds. They're mature campers. We're really trying to work out, are you going to be okay traveling without parents? Homesickness in a different province gets a little bit complicated. So we want to make sure that our campers are going to we want them to have a great time, and that they'll be okay. Can all be part of that camper letter. Any questions? I feel like I skipped something, but I can't remember what it is. So I'll leave it there. Any questions that anybody has, let us know and I can help answer them.
We have a question. What is the supervision when traveling between the provinces?
Okay, so yeah, we have, so there's 10 campers in each, with each camp group, and each camp group has 3 over 18-year-olds. They're actual adults. Over 18 is kind of a camp term that we use to say like you're an adult. We have at least 3, and then potentially 1 junior counselor going as well. So that's what that will look like. It almost works out to 1 to 3 or 1 to 2, depending if our junior counselors go. Yeah. Any other questions I can answer?
While at each camp, is the own camp staff running programming?
A little bit. So, for the most part, yes, because they'll know the system well enough. The other staff that are going from the other camp will be helping out in any way that they're able to help. But each camp is running the program is running while camp is happening at both of these camps. So the group is joining the larger camp system, if that makes sense. So there will be other staff. As soon as you get to camp, there's now a whole mess of staff that also are helping run different programs and different activities, things like that. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Okay. I said yes, thank you. Is this fully funded by the grant?
No, so all the travel part is funded by the grant. That's what they take care of. The staffing, the food, the accommodations, our equipment, that is all taken care of by the registration fee, which is, I want to say 2,250 plus taxes.
Yep.
Which is on par. It's a little bit higher than our 2-week program, but similar to our 2-week program fee. Okay, is there anything that like came up during the first info session that I haven't talked about yet? Do you
I
remember?
think the only thing that came up was the counselor ratios, but you
Which, yeah,
haven't
we
done.
talked about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's awesome. I'm so excited to hear from you guys and your applications. We'll stay on as long as you guys want. If there's any other questions, absolutely feel free to ask. If not, thank you guys for coming and have an awesome night.
Sorry, can I just ask another question, just kind of on the age category? Because
Absolutely.
I'm in BC. I'm a
Mhm.
group commissioner, so I'm kind of just asking all these questions so I can share the
Absolutely.
information with my section. So because I know Camp Bing doesn't really typically have a camp for over 14-year-olds. So I'm just trying to envision what that'll look like when the campers are all at Bing. Because then once you're 14, you go into the like the leader in training side of things at Camp Bing. So I understand that's different at the camp in Ontario. So I was just trying to
Mhm.
fathom how that would operate.
Yeah, so they will, and Open similar. We do have a little bit of an older age camper, but our 15, 16-year-olds also go into leadership CIT. Um, but there's still lots of like camp-wide activities that they get to do, like our CITs as well. And I think Bing as well is like when they're there, it's you get to be a camper, you get to go do fun things. Um, Hopefully, I think the whole experience as a whole will be pretty exciting. Um, but yeah, they will like yeah, and I know that from a from a scouting view, it's like an odd age gap. Some of it has to do with the like grant funding as well of like how their like what they where their youth lie. And it yeah, and, yeah, again, it was just kind of like um where we thought would still have fun at camp, but be able to, jump that hurdle of homesickness in a different province.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it's a fantastic opportunity. I actually grew up in Ontario and have a family cottage near Westport. So, but I'm now in
Oh,
BC, so it's kind of a neat partnership you're doing. And I think it actually maybe like a missed marketing opportunity, but could actually be sort of marketed as a linking event between moving from scouts to the venture age, because that's
well, that's
exactly
a
the age that you're hitting. So if you sort
yeah,
of promote it as that, that it's sort of that like building block between those two sections. Yeah.
that's
Anyways,
a
that's
great
just my 2 cents.
idea. Yeah, that's an awesome idea. Thank you. Yeah, that's funny that you're from that you had a cottage near Westport. Open is just down the road. You're actually really close.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. My mom still lives, she lives now at our cottage full time. So yeah, it's pretty fantastic. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, and it's so different. Like it's just such a different it's fun. We actually were talking about it earlier today. It was like both camps are really built on the water, but they're very different types of water. So you end up doing very different activities with it. So yeah, I like when I went to visit Bing, it was just such an amazing experience to be like, oh, this is camp, and I'm seeing so many similar activities, but they're all just a little bit different, and everything looks just a little bit different, and you do things just a little bit different. So it's just so cool to like compare and contrast both camps, and I think the campers will get a really big kick out of that too. Awesome. Thanks so much for coming. Yeah, absolutely. Tell your section group. That's amazing. Thanks, guys.